Hi, welcome to this month's edition of Legislative Report. I'm Representative Jim Lynch, representing Warren, Forest, and McKean counties. Today we're in Warren, PA, at the Warren Area Student Union. And joining us today is Kerry Gurn. Kerry?
Hi, Jim.
One of the principal founders and developers of the Warren Area Student Union, and we're here today to take a tour and learn more about this tremendous facility.
We'd like to welcome everybody to the Warren Area Student Union. This is an organization for all of Warren County, for all the youth in Warren County. It's free, and we're starting to come up where things are getting to develop. We're having a lot of students come in now, and we'd like everybody to come in and see our building and let the kids come in and have a place of their own. I'd like to introduce Heather Wooten, who's the director at the Warren Area Student Union.
Hi, Heather.
Hello, Jim. Hello.
Heather takes care of all the scheduling and working with the students, providing a lot of the programs that we have. We also have Steve and Jody Sigmund. Steve is not only a board member, but also an architect, and Jody is a board member.
Steve?
Steve's the one that has been working very diligently to try and get this building up to shape and up to code for the students. He now has a set that we're going to begin construction on the restrooms, so within a few months we're going to be fully open and operational.
Okay, what do you say we go and have a look at the building?
Okay, let's go.
Hi, Jim. This is our office where we do everything.
Okay, now, how many hours a week do you work, Heather?
Between 20 and 25.
Okay, now you're a paid person here, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, why is it important to have a paid person at the student union here?
Well, the main thing with me is I know everything going on with all the kids. I'm here daily. The student board isn't, so.
It's important to have somebody here to have oversight over all the programs and the children that come in here.
And then it helps bond with the kids, too. We have a one-on-one a lot.
Now, when did you start working here, Heather?
March of 2000.
So you've been here a while.
Yeah.
And how's everything going?
Good.
Now, now I've been here, and I know this has been a growing process. And Kerry, we were here at the beginning, you know, when this thing, when we were able to help you get this land, or this Army building, I should say, transferred over. And when were you established?
Well, really, when we got the building, that was October of '99 is when we received the building, and that was transferred from the governor with your help. You were very instrumental in getting us the money to get started, get the asbestos out of here. If you remember that, that was one of our big problems.
I do.
You took care of that. And then we started having programs slowly. We've had a lot of construction. As we take a tour of the building, we'll show you the different things that we've had to do. If you look behind you, you see some of the stuff that Steve Sigmund, our architect, has been very instrumental in getting the fire alarm system and the sprinkler system hooked up.
Okay.
So we're all
That's
set
a requirement for the codes, I would
Yes,
think,
it
for
is.
the BOCA codes.
Right.
Sure, that's great. And I know when I first came in here, when you guys first took over the building, in fact, I was in here before you actually took over the building, let me say this, you've come a long way. And there's still ways to go, I understand it, but you've come a long ways. Now, how have you been able to get to the point where you are with this building, the things that we're going to be seeing? You know, how have you been able to get the equipment, the computers, fix the paint? How have you been able to do that?
Donations. A lot of our donations have been through the community. We have the grants from you that have helped us an awful lot. We also have DCD grant that we received that's going to be taking care of the restrooms. We've received funds from the Ferro Grotto for handicap accessible chairlift that we'll eventually be putting in the back stairs. Different organizations have been giving us funds.
Good.
We're coming along. One of the big contributors, our first major corporate contributor, was Blair Corporation. They gave us a large sum that really has helped us come through this winter. This winter was a tough season for us.
Cash?
They gave us cash.
Yeah, but you also get donations of equipment. And we're going to see that as we go through here.
Yeah, we'll point out, from one thing, Mr. Levinson gave us a piano.
Well, that's
that
great.
helps the kids. We've received different things from a lot of different people in the community that's been very helpful. Behind you, you see a computer from CVS. They helped get us started with our first computer here.
Oh, that's great.
They donated that to us.
How's the volunteer effort been here since you've opened up?
On and off, it's been fair. We did have a lot of volunteers at first. Everybody was really excited when we first got the building, but then with all the construction and the different codes, we had to limit our number of students here, and that So it's kind of dwindled a little bit. Now it's really picked up. We're getting the students are really excited about the different things. The one thing we'll be showing you in a little bit is the Osram computer room, which is just about set.
Good.
West PA Net's going to be hooking up the internet, and the kids have been using the computers, but they'll be on the internet soon, and we should be all set there.
Yeah.
So we're coming along now that as soon as the restrooms are done, we're going to be fully operational.
That's
and
great.
again, it's our number one thing. It's free to the students in Warren County.
Right. Now, is that what the requirement is? You have to be a student at a high school in Warren County?
You've got to
or
be
junior high school?
You've got to be under
Middle
20
school?
years of age.
Under 20 years of
That's
age.
anyone that's in school. Our student board now mainly consists of junior high students. Because the thing is, a lot of the seniors have jobs. They've come through the roles here helping on the board, and they're still involved, but not in a capacity where they can be here all the time. The younger students are the ones that are really getting involved and changing things to the way that they'd like. So.
Heather, how many students do you have come in here in a week's time, would you say?
On a week's time, probably about 120. Wednesday's our biggest night.
Why Wednesday? What happens on
We
Wednesday?
have movie night, which is
Movie
free
night.
pizza, free movie, and we all just gather in the TV
Wait a
room.
minute. You have movies on Wednesday, and the movies are free, and the pizza is free?
Yeah.
Now, how do I get to come?
You can.
I can't
You can
come.
volunteer.
Have to be.
You can volunteer. We need adult volunteers. So there's a good one, Jeff.
There you go. Well, that's outstanding. And what kind of movies do you show?
We pick. They pick.
Okay, we'll be seeing the movie room though, won't we?
Yeah.
Or not rated R, sorry.
Yeah.
Horror to comedy. So.
We'll see. We'll talk more about that when we get to the movie room. Okay. Anything else you want to show us about your office here? Because this was not an office at one time. It was just a hole in the wall here.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the paneling and everything here, but we've got the desk, and we've had the computer station and that donated. We did purchase another computer for Heather. The fax machine and copier, that's a donation from Osram, Sylvania.
Good.
So that's helped an awful lot.
Okay.
Well, just about everything's been donated, from little to big, whatever people.
Sure. Well, let's start down the hallway and look at the different rooms and see what you have.
Okay. This is the Osram computer room. This is our newest and most up-to-date room that we have, thanks to Osram, Sylvania.
Well, this is pretty impressive, Carrie.
It is. It's computer systems all set up. They're pretty much ready to go. There is a few things that I guess they have to finish up. The one thing is West PA Net is coming in and hook up the internet service for us. So we're going to have internet access for all the students to use here.
And when will that occur?
That should be within the next week or two. So by Memorial Day, we should be all set.
Good. Now, that's great. Now, was all this equipment donated by Osram, Sylvania?
Most of it was by Osram. There has been a couple individuals. The Kraus family donated a computer, and there was, I think, 2 other computers that were donated by individuals. But most of it was all set by Osram, and they come in and refurbished everything that was here.
Right. Right. Do you need more computers?
Yes. As you can see, we have some open space here that we're going to be doing. We are down to where we have one printer that is of good quality. We have this old, more of an antique that we have, but we need printers, and we do need more computers because we have more stations here that are available.
Obviously, the access is good, and the utilization must be very high on these.
It is. The students are already, as I said, it's not fully complete, and the students are already in using it.
That's great.
And
that's fantastic.
That's the thing that we're really hoping for, to get this done so the students have some place to come in, do their homework, work on any project that they want, and to help us here at the Student Union, too.
That's great. Okay, let's see what's next.
Okay. Why don't we go over to the teacher's room? This is the library. This is sponsored by the Warren Teachers Association.
Great.
They had the Boy Scouts build the cabinets, the shelving here, and they've donated all the books that you see so far. The computer part you see, we've been using it more or less for storage right now to finish up the computer room, which we should be able to get this cleaned out and get it set. We do have some cubicles that were donated to use for tutoring, and that's one of the programs that Heather's been very instrumental in doing. We had free tutoring going this past school year for the students, and we had several students going around being tutored here in Warren, Sheffield, and I believe there was some in Youngsville.
Tyona.
And that all emanated from out of here?
From out of here.
That's great. That's a well-known, or I should say a good kept secret, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is, because we had a lot of students at first, and then we tried to get more students. If you needed help, just holler. We had teachers coming up saying, I'm good at this. What can I help with?
Fantastic.
So,
Fantastic.
They've been great.
yes. And as Steve, like him to explain, you can see some of our construction from our sprinkler system. Steve?
One of the biggest limitations we had when the building was first opened is that was fire safety. So we've added sprinkler. You can see the riser pipe there, and the heads, and the building's now fully alarmed. You can see the smoke detectors and the I think there's an alarm right behind me, a notifier. So that's now the building is completely protected.
Complete compliance.
Yes.
Well, that's important for this from a safety standpoint. That's why these
Absolutely.
things are there. And I think it's good, you know, with the students that will come here, for their parents to know that they won't have that problem to worry about when they come here.
That's right.
That's great. Okay.
This is the game room. All the community came in and did a complete wall murals.
Who did that?
Healthy Communities. Took them
Great.
about 2 weeks. And it used to be painted camouflage, so you can only imagine.
Yeah.
So they did a great job. These are 2 of my kids on the student board.
They're on the student board.
Yeah, this is Chad.
Hi, Jim Lynch. What's your name?
Chad Lang.
Hey, Chad. Nice to meet you. Jim
Joe
Lynch.
White.
Joe, nice to meet you. So you have a student board.
Yeah.
Now, how many students are on that?
We have about 13 right now on it,
Yeah.
and they're really active, so.
Yeah. Let me talk to these guys for a minute. So, now, being on the student board, what do you do?
Help plan out events for the summer.
Raise
Help get donations.
fundraisers.
How long do you serve on the board? You just as long as you want to volunteer? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how often you guys come here?
Pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day that I can get here.
Is that
I'm
right?
Not working.
Do you use the computers, the game room? Do you use it
yeah.
pretty much anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good place, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
very
where else
good
can you go and
place.
have these amenities for free?
Yeah.
And that's a good deal. Yeah, do you guys come to the movies on Wednesday night?
Oh yeah.
With the free movies and free pizza? You know, Heather told me I can't come. Could I come as one of your guests one time?
Sure.
There you go. Hey, thanks you guys.
No problem.
The equipment that you see here, the pool table and the pinball machines, Jim Bryce, who's also an officer for the Warren City Police,
Sure.
is on our board. And Jim is one of the founding members here too for the student union.
Good man.
And yes, he is. Very good. He's the one that worked with a group to get these machines in for us to use. And Heather's been very innovative in getting Monday nights and Friday nights going as the nights for our game room.
Yeah.
It's opened up. The kids get to play the pool table for free and come in and have a good time.
And these are a concession. You put your quarter or whatever in, you get to play. This is
Right.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. They have the ping pong and they'll have music going and stuff. We also have snacks that they can purchase in here, chips and things like that. We have
Sure.
a pop machine.
Sure. And most of this will be possible because of Jim Bryce and his group.
Yes.
That's great, yeah. When Jim comes to, being he's a uniformed police officer in the city of Warren, do you keep a supply of donuts on hand?
No, we haven't had to yet. I think he goes over there first at the police office and then comes over here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go over to the lounge. Okay, this is a lounge. All the furniture you see here has been donated by individuals. One thing we have is the TV was donated. That's where we have movie night.
Good.
Another idea of Heather's, since they closed the movie theater up the Warren Mall. Heather, what do you do on movie nights?
We run a movie from Film Fest. They donate the movie, and we all just gather in here. We have pizza and pop, and Little Caesars and Pizza Hut donates the pizzas, and we just watch the movie. We average about 60 to 70 kids now, so it's really cramped, really packed.
You have 60 or 70 every Wednesday?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Now, how do I get to come here? I have to be a
You
guest of a
have to
student.
volunteer. They'd love you.
I'm going to get some of that free pizza and movie,
They're
believe me.
loud.
I'm going to get this yet.
The one thing we are trying to fundraise for is a big screen TV or a bigger one, so all the kids can see. It gets really hard.
Now you say you get 60 or 70. Do they sit on the floor? Do you bring in folding chairs, or what do
They
you
sit
do?
on the floor, they pile up.
Sure. It's kind of a party for them, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time for them. Yeah, I think that's outstanding.
And it's a good time for me and the volunteers.
Yeah, and what it does is making sure that these kids have a good, safe, constructive place to be at on a Wednesday night. Yeah, someplace that the parents can trust that everything's okay.
And that's one thing that I'd like to kind of enforce what Heather's saying. One of the biggest things we need for this, to keep the kids coming to this, is a big screen TV. We've been trying to find some kind of projection or big screen, and so far we haven't been able to. We don't have the funds to be able to spend on all the things you see are donated.
Right.
We don't have the funds to spend on things like that. So if there's anyone that has one, we'd be glad to take it off their hands.
Donation.
Yes, we would.
Either the big screen TV or maybe enough cash to purchase a big screen
purchase
TV.
one, yes.
Sure, I think that's great. Yeah, and I mean, hey, 60 or 70 students. I mean, this room is barely big enough to hold that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's outstanding. Good job.
It is.
Okay.
Let's head down the hall and we'll have Steve Sigmund show you what we're going to be doing with some of the construction that's coming up.
Okay, let's go.
All right, well, the bathrooms right now are the original bathrooms, and then they're kind of a wreck. And those are going to be completely gutted and replumbed and redone. Men's and women's restroom both. The women's is going to be greatly enlarged since this was formerly a military establishment. New exhaust fans, all new fixtures, so that we can start having larger events with like dances and club meetings and those kind of things, so that we can get more people in here.
That's good. And this is obviously a necessity.
Oh, yeah,
If you tend to exist and grow, these have to be properly, built and maintained.
Well, Jim, one of the things that we found since we took over the building is we have not been able to legally have big functions here. We are under the code now for a place of assembly. So with the restrooms, we have more or less 2 ladies' restrooms, and the men's restroom, which you'll be able to see is in dire need of repair. It's not enough for the quantity of students and adults that we can have here. What we're going to be doing with what work Steve has already set up is the ladies' restroom will be redone at the hall, and there's going to be seven stalls net for the ladies, where, like I said, they have 2 places in the whole building right now.
Right.
Then the men's will be redone here with a janitor's closet at the end. So we're going to be able, at that point, to have a lot of different functions, big dances, large groups coming in having meetings. I know many years ago, Blair Corporation used to have their annual meetings here. And we hope to be able to get things like that coming back.
Well, I think that would be great. Now, is the funding in place for the repair of the bathrooms?
The funding is in place, except we're short about $23,000.
Well, that's not in place. You have a lot of money for raised.
Well, compared to the $80,000 that it's going to cost to do it, and then some, we're pretty well on our way. Good. The bids are set. Remco Construction is the one that's going to be starting the construction very soon.
Great job.
And we have access coming in, and we can definitely use a lot more funds on it.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's good to get this message out to people, too. Okay.
Jim, this is our stairway that we refurbished going to the gym. This that the rail you see on this section, this is where we're going to install the chair lift eventually for the handicap that the Fair Grotto donated for.
Good.
As you can see with the length of the stairs, we'll need it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the public space is on the top floor, so you've got to have a way of getting people up here.
Well, that's exactly right.
Jim, this is our gym, and I'd like to introduce you to something that we're very proud of. We had an individual donate the money to put all new lighting in here. He also paid to have some guards made for the windows because the soccer team was up here playing. This, Heather's husband, made all the guards and did an excellent job. We've had soccer practice up here. We've had boys and girls softball. We've had a pitching group with Tom Tellman that have been up here. We've had girls basketball. One of the things that I'd like to mention that we've had since the beginning, and we can't talk enough about Brian Zabel. Officer Zabel came to us just walking through when we had one of our first meetings here and wanted to teach Taekwondo to a bunch of kids. He's running classes now. Since we opened, he's been here. Every Tuesday night he has a class. And the State Police Barracks in Warren has been fabulous. They redo his schedule so he can be here every Tuesday night. And they come in and they teach the kids. We stopped in last Tuesday night and he had a bunch of younger kids in here that he was working with. They were doing a great job.
And what's the cost for that class?
I believe they were doing a $1 donation, but you don't have to. It's free.
So it's
We don't charge
free.
Brian. He doesn't charge us. He just wants to teach the kids.
Well, I think that's great of Brian to do that.
It is.
That's fantastic.
For somebody to take every Tuesday night to be here. Between him and he's had an assistant that's helped on and off, Toby Wolf. He's been here. In fact, they're going to be using the gym in June to have a group come down from Buffalo of experts to put on a presentation and have a little fundraiser for
That's
us.
fantastic. Now, again, how many students do you have coming on Tuesday night?
I believe there was about 15 to 20 students here. I didn't get an exact number, but we walked through and looked and watched them practicing. We didn't want to interrupt their class.
Brian and Toby, when he's here, don't charge.
They don't charge. No.
I think that's fantastic volunteerism.
It is.
But as we talked about earlier off the video camera, when I was talking about it on the camera, you know, Warren has got to be one of the most giving communities that you're going to find anywhere in Pennsylvania. I mean, we are lucky around here.
We are very lucky because, as you can see with this building, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Warren community. It's one of our biggest founders that's helped us, and which I'm proud to be a member, is the Exchange Club of Warren. They've been ongoing in their donations, their support. We've redone some meetings so we can get more of them to come in and volunteer. They wanted to help, but we had things that were conflicting with the Exchange Club meetings. But the Exchange Club has been very helpful. In fact, Gary Franklin, the main person, he's the treasurer, he's the one that runs everything for the student union. The guy's phenomenal with every group that he's in, between Healthy Kids, Healthy Choice, and the Exchange Club, and with the student union. He's helped us work with you and others to get grants in here to help us. He's the one that got the grant to redo the restrooms.
Great.
Without him and the volunteers that we've had and the community, the support, we wouldn't have this place where the kids are coming in to call their own instead of being out on the street where there could be problems.
Great. That's fantastic.
And I do have to play the devil's advocate here. I have to say Gary's got more work to do because as fantastic a space as this is, we lose a lot of heat out of this space. The utility bills have been horrendous. So one of the upcoming projects is to get a new roof on this thing and insulate it so we can get our utility costs under control.
Good.
That's one of the biggest things that we need funds right now for operation. We're desperately in need of operational funds. We have the grants to take care of, like the restrooms and things like that. But our heating bills and utilities, just for this past winter, I know they were hard on everyone. On us, it cost us $10,000 to heat this building.
It's a sizable amount of money.
And we're only open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Tuesday nights. So you can see it's a very big building to heat and operate. And we can use the community's help again.
But that insulation coming in is going to greatly reduce those heating bills.
Yeah, we've got plans to greatly reduce those bills.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because you can't continue to live with a bill like that.
Cut it over 50% from what's our master architect here tells us.
Good. Good job. Okay.
We have a lot of other groups that are using it too. We've had groups come up and look at it for some punk bands. They've had some dances here, which we came to an all-dayer. And it was, I guess I'm showing my age. It was different, but it was interesting. I actually like some of the music.
We've had homeschoolers in for spelling bees. They bring their whole crew right in, do spelling bees and art shows.
That's one thing. The gym is open to anyone. All they have to do is call Heather and they can schedule times to come in and use it. That's what a lot of them have been doing. The basketball, the soccer, and things like that. Okay, Jim, this is where we're going to have the future GPU game room. GPU has given us a generous donation to take care of a game room down here for the students. The game room I know we showed you up on the first floor, that's a temporary one that we have set up. That's going to be more or less a mess hall eventually. This is where we're going to set everything up, all types of pinball machines, games, and things like that for the youth to come in and use.
And GPU is making this possible.
Yes, yes. Their very generous donation is what's making all this possible. You can see a lot of the construction. One thing, when we had to take the asbestos out, we had to eliminate all the paneling and everything that was in here. So that's why everything's been torn out, trying to get things set. The restrooms that Steve had to leave, But as you can see at the top, some of it has been replaced years ago. One of our biggest expenses in doing the restrooms is replacing the flooring up there, and that's concrete. So they'll put new steel and all new plumbing and everything when they do that.
Yeah, that's the result of moving into an old armory.
Yes. Yes. And over down the hall we'll show you the firing ranges, and Heather's been working with her husband and some students to try and get things set up where we can come in and put a paintball range in for the kids to use. Jim, this is a rifle range. This is where Heather's working to get a paintball range going.
Good. Now these are going to be the ones where you shoot the little balls of paint out of the little pistols and rifles and so forth?
And the goal is to keep it going that way.
Okay. In other words, this isn't going to be something where the students will be shooting at each other, or they'll be shooting at targets only?
It'll be targeted, and it's completely supervised, and that's
Good.
where we need volunteers
Good. That's excellent.
that want to take the chance sitting down here with a whole bunch of kids with paintballs.
Well, that stuff is water soluble. I think
Yes.
water washes it off, I believe. So.
We're hoping to have it done by the end of this summer, so more or less like a winter.
Good.
For the kids to come in at winter and do.
Yeah. Well, I think if you get that up and running, I think you're going to have a big turnout for that as well.
I think we will. I remember years ago with this range, I remember coming down here as a member of the Beatty Rifle Club.
Oh, really?
And shooting down here.
Yeah.
I know large groups have talked about the pistol range that they had over in the next room, and different things. So it'd be kind of fun to get a paintball group going in here.
Just won't have live ammunition.
That's it.
There's nothing
And it
wrong
won't be
with
as loud.
That's correct.
My understanding is that it was so loud when they were shooting down here that you couldn't do anything on the other floor. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, that'll be great. I think that'd be a nice addition, Heather.
Jim, I hope you've enjoyed the tour of our building.
I have.
We're very proud of it. We've been doing a lot to get this building up where the kids can really enjoy it. Heather's been doing a fine job, and I wish all of our board members would have been able to attend today. We've got, as I mentioned, Jim Bryce, who's been on our board since we started. We have Sue Jackson, Margina Gabriel, Mark Davis, Frankie Johnson, Gary Franklin, of course, Bob Chevroletti, and Steve Sigmund and Jody Sigmund. They've been very helpful, and the whole board has, and making sure that we're up and running and doing as much as we can for the kids. One thing that I hope through this program that you sponsor, I hope it helps to bring in some more volunteers. We need those, and we need funds to keep this operating. Our goal is to make sure that the students in Warren County have a place to go off the streets, where they can have mentoring to help them exceed in life, and also have the things like the computer room and things like that that they wouldn't have necessarily at home.
Sure. And obviously one of the hopes of the people watching this video is that they realize what a great facility this is for the kids, and might be willing to want to help out. First off, it might hopefully attract more kids here, but then maybe attract more volunteers, more donations, and so forth. And if a person wanted to, who do they contact? Do they have a phone number that they could call?
They can call Heather at 726-7674.
And we'll show that number on the bottom of the screen as well.
Okay.
And
Very good. And one last thing, Jim, before you leave, I'd like to thank you, because through all of your support, you helped us start with the asbestos. You've helped us all the way through when we've needed it to get this building going, and without you, we wouldn't be here either. So
well, let me tell you, these are some people may feel these are trite comments, but the fact is, it's for the future of tomorrow. These are the children. This is a good facility. It's a good constructive place to be. These are good things that are going on here, and that's what we want our children to be involved with. I'm happy to have been part of it. I appreciate the opportunity to have been invited. Thanks again for joining us for this report, and Heather,
Thank
you as well. Really appreciate it. Keep up the good work up here.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, that's all the time we have for this month's edition of Legislative Report. Join us again next month for another report.